Hello, I'm Roger Barnes, President of the Dinghy Cruising Association, and I've been asked for my top 3 tips for cruising on a budget. And the first thing I would always say is that if you have a boat already, a dinghy, because we're talking about dinghy cruising, often the dinghy you have is the best dinghy to cruise in because you already know how it works and you're familiar with it. And if it's not incredibly extreme and dangerous, that's probably the boat to start with. And you just have to work out a way of using it in cruising. And cruising, it doesn't necessarily mean sleeping overnight. It really just means sailing out of your familiar waters, thinking about tides, looking at a chart, and going round the corner down the river, finding a beach and having a picnic, something like that. That is dinghy cruising. Second top tip, if you're actually looking to buy a boat, the best thing is probably to buy one that's rather older and not terribly extreme. And I'm here on the Dinghy Cruising Association stand at the RYA boat show in Farnborough. And the boat over here is a Enterprise. It's a standard plywood Enterprise. It's quite a sporty dinghy. It's not maybe the best dinghy to choose. There are rather more stable ones, but the nice thing about it is it's a straightforward dinghy that wouldn't cost very much to buy, and that you can adapt, because the thing that's going to start happening is you're going to want to change the boat and adapt it to suit you. And if it's a modern racing dinghy, you're going to be worried about taking it out of class and whether people are going to disapprove of the changes you make. So get a boat that's, yes, a little bit elderly. You don't need to spend very much on it, and then you can adapt it to your purposes. The third top tip for cruising on a budget is, it's a bit of a strange one because it's really not to be afraid. I was actually sort of thinking about this. What often prevents people from cruising is the fear of the unknown, because it's something that's obviously done. They buy a yacht because a yacht, which is expensive, the tip is not to buy a yacht because the yacht's the standard solution. And a yacht seems to have all the solutions. It's already got bunks, it's already got maybe a toilet, it's got a cooker, it's got all those things. So you think, that's what I need, and then you go out and buy a yacht. The thing about cruising in a dinghy is you've got to work out the solutions to that yourself. And you've just not got to be afraid of that. That's the wonderful thing about it. You are being a little bit inventive, a little bit unusual, but it's absolutely perfectly attainable. It will challenge you. You will wake up in the middle of the night and the wind will have got up, and perhaps you're at anchor and the boat's moving around and you're thinking, oh my God, and you open the little tent that you've built and you think, oh dear me, and everything's moving around. But you're not usually in any great danger as compared to crossing the road on land. But it's really unusual and different, and it's that ability to take you out of your ordinary life and put you into a situation that's a little bit challenging that is the wonder of it. And it is that actually challenging your fear. So my final top tip is not to be afraid of doing it.